Hey, how's it going, everyone? Welcome to Mentor Monday. Mentor Monday is your weekly microdose of encouragement. Is that what I say? Wow, it was a long weekend. I just did boot camp. Mentor Monday is your microdose of encouragement, inspiration, and miracle grow on your potential as a coach. I've been saying that for years, and I just blinked for a second, but it's going to get better. I promise you, it's going to be great tonight. Hey, let us know that you are here. Do me a huge favor and jump inside the chat. Tell us where you're joining us from, what you're excited about, what you feel life and momentum on. One of the big priorities that we are on right now, obviously, we have a 4-word mission statement at Life Coach Training Institute. It is proficient coaches. We want to see coaches grow and develop proficiency to be the best, most phenomenal coaches possible. And our other part of our mission statement, which is proficient coaches, thriving practices. We want you to crush it as a coach. You are a business person. We want you to find that financial freedom. We want you to leave that 9 to 5 that is not serving you well, that is not your life's purpose, that is not your calling, and step into what you're made to do. And so everything that we do on Mentor Monday is to one of those ends, either to help you grow in your proficiency or to help you get more clients so that you can break free of that 9 to 5. And so right now, we're working on building momentum. Last week, we talked about September and October. We're going to be talking about the holidays, November and December, because those are right around the corner. But again, let me know that you are here. Jump inside the chat widget and say hello. And I'm going to say hello to every one of you. I'm just going to make sure that my audio is good. I think that we're good over here. There's Meredith. Good to see you, Meredith. Thanks for saying hello. There's Tony. Tony is ready. D May, who's saying hello. Whoops. There it is. Americo joining us from Richmond, Virginia. Excited about my future as a life coach. Americo's just been getting clients left and right over the last few weeks. It's always good to see someone who gets started really quickly after knocking out their certification. So it's beautiful. There's Rose. Hello, Rose. Bobby is saying hello from Cleveland, from the boot camp. All right. Oh, it's RL. Okay. RL was with us this weekend. We did boot camp weekend. We did Friday, all day Saturday, all day Sunday, and everybody knocks out their certification training in a weekend. So it's one of the things that we try to do to kickstart your career. Dan, who's saying hello, joining from Indiana, I believe. Um, Anybody else that would like to say hello, if you would, we're going to give everybody a chance to say hello to us and a few more people to be able to join us because we're about to jump in. I would take notes. And if you've missed the last 2 sessions on this particular series about growing your business year round, I would go back in time and I would watch those videos. So this is the 3rd week of this particular topic. Dan, who's saying hello. Who else do I need to say hello to? Lisa, who's joining in from Australia. Good to see you. Anybody else like to say hello? We're excited because some of our friends are coming back to the States from Australia. We were literally talking about that earlier. So they were there for a time, but they're coming back. They're old friends of ours, and so it's going to be great. Anybody else want to say hello? If you would jump into the chat. It's always so encouraging to see people saying things in the chat and saying hello and all those other things because I can't see you. We're just in a studio over here in California trying to not sweat to death. So hopefully we won't have too much noise going on in the background. We're pumping the AC on high, trying to get it cooled off in here as we do this thing so that I won't be sweating profusely or whatever. Say hello to us. Also, do me a huge favor, like and share this because it tells Facebook and YouTube that we're doing a good job, and it gets this in front of other coaches who could benefit. Who else do I need to say hello to? Miles from San Diego. Good to see you, Miles. All right. Well, keep those comments coming in. It's time for us to jump into what we're talking about this particular week. 2 weeks ago, we started the series, Grow Your Coaching Practice Year Round. And so we talked about some of the biggest mistakes that coaches make as they are embarking on their marketing, as they are starting in their career as coaches. And one of the things that I talked about is that most coaches, because they have worked full-time jobs for many years, I realize that most coaches aren't really wired as the typical entrepreneur. A lot of times we're kind of people who are just serving in the background. We work for people, we love people, we love to help people. A lot of coaches really even hate to take money. Can you believe that? Hate to take money for helping people, you know? And so there's a lot of challenges and mindsets and everything else when coaches are first starting. And so one of the things that I have been after with coaches over the last 10 years since we have been training and certifying coaches is going after this thing and also giving them the practical steps to be able to be successful. One of the biggest shifts that you have to make as a coach is moving from this thermometer kind of wiring into becoming a thermostat. Thermometers, what do? Whatever the environment is doing, the environment dictates what the thermometer does, and it makes it go high or low. And when you become a business person, you have to make a shift to becoming a thermostat. We've got to be catalysts in the lives of people as coaches anyway. And one of the things that we have to do is that we have to be aware of the prevailing mindsets that people are in and what opportunities are existing around that for our businesses. And one of the things that we've got to be very careful about doing is not getting lost and getting trapped into the thermometer mindset that we had when we were working for people. Because I realize many of you still work for people. What happens throughout the year when someone is working for a company? There will be seasons when people are working really aggressively. There are seasons when people are trying to hustle and everything else. And then there are seasons when people go on cruise control because they're like, oh, we're not too busy right now. It's not the busy season. And they go into cruise control. And if you are a coach and you are falling prey to that and you're not being a thermostat, you are not setting the tempo, you're not going to have momentum for your business. And actually, you're going to miss out on a lot of opportunities where you could have grown your business, not just 1 month out of the year or 2 months out of the year. Most coaches are like, yeah, January is probably a good business month. What I'm showing you is actually September, which we're coming into, is the number one business month out of the entire year. September and October. That part right there is it catapults your entire business. Most coaches are coming out of the summer and they're still ripping the dead skin off of their arms from their sunburns and stuff like that because they've been taking a break for a really long time. And now there's a rude awakening. Right now, I want it to be a rude awakening. Right now, if you haven't been creating a momentum and talking about what's available and talking to that audience that you're building, that target market and everything else, then you don't have momentum coming into the most important time of the year. So I'm going to try to keep you from making these mistakes in the future. And there's still time for you. There's still time for some of you to complete your certification so that you can get on with this. We have a self-paced course. You can knock that thing out September 7th. We have a 1-day certification where you could come in and get everything out of the way and you can begin getting your business up and going. So last week, I covered this one slide with everybody, but I'm going to cover it again just as a reminder and just as a really quick recap because it's going to be because that's going to be really important. Let me say hello to just a couple of people really quick. Americo says I picked up another commercial client. And crazy, yes, that is crazy, but you're doing it. You're putting yourself out there and you're making it happen, and that's beautiful. So here's where we're going to start. Where we're going to start is understanding how seasons impact mindsets. And I'm going to cover this really quickly because I talked about it in depth last week, but it's going to set us up again for what we're getting ready to talk to in this season. We've got to learn from what retail stores have taught us with regard to marketing. And if you notice this, is that retailers always start talking about the next season long before anybody else is even thinking about it. How long have you been hearing about back to school, and how long have you been hearing about Halloween? Back to school, they've had stuff on the shelves for weeks now. Halloween stuff has been on the shelf for a minimum of a month, and we're still in August. So what are they doing? Is that they're getting people thinking. They're getting people thinking ahead, and they're getting ahead of the rat race and the traps that people are in, because sometimes people aren't paying attention to the season until all of a sudden they're like, oh, wow, it's almost fall again. It's, before the changing of the leaves, we're talking about these fall fashions are in. You can't buy summer stuff anymore unless it's on a clearance rack. And so these things are happening really quickly. And so retailers have taught us a lot about the fact that we've got to get ahead of the game, because what we do is we plant seeds and we create momentum so that when people come into the season, they are buying, they are signing up or whatever. That's why sometimes you'll see those discounts, you'll see those countdowns, all of those different things that you'll see ahead of it. So they use a lot of impact tools that touch the emotions. They use language. A lot of times, I remember when we were growing up, instead of it saying back to back to school, it would say back to cool. Talk about the fashions for the fall season, whatever. That worked for us apparently. But it's a Christmas, or it is a Halloween spooktacular. Um, even Chipotle offers a burrito. There's all these different kinds of like cheesy things, but people remember it because it's connected with the season, right? So there's all kinds of things with visuals, with language, with music. When you go into the store, you have music that's connected to the season. And anytime you go into a retailer, you hear music to enhance your shopping experience and to motivate you to buy more. Because if you walk around in a dead store and there's no music playing, you're not really necessarily in the mood. So they do things to get you in the mood. And if you're in the Christmas season, you hear Christmas music, all of these different things. So these are things that we have to take cues, countdowns, sales that end at a certain time or whatever. So it gets people in a momentum. And so for this, what we have to understand is that the mindset of the season that is prevailing, us as coaches, we just partner with what the mindset is of the season, and then that can open the doors for our business year round. There is always a mindset, prevailing mindset, something people are thinking about, something that people are focused about that we can partner with. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. You know what's a great month to get clients? Every month. Every month is a great month. But we need to actually have a plan, and we need to partner with these things. So in this particular case, we're going to be talking about November and December, because we're about that time that you need to start thinking about these things and planning what your strategy is going to be. And some of the mindsets around the holidays, particularly around November and December, because some of you a couple of weeks ago didn't even know that November and December were good business months. You know what coaches always do during November and December? They get lazy, they eat a bunch of turkey and take naps, and then they probably deal with that guilt of, well, I didn't really take care of myself, and maybe I'll lose some weight in January. And then finally, when January starts rolling around, they might start thinking about getting their business going, when they didn't realize that November and December are close, very close to second place months out of the entire year. Incredible times to get clients. And most coaches are non-existent during those times, because they think, oh, well, no one's interested because they're trying to be with family and they're focused on other things. No, I'm going to talk to you about the mindsets that people actually have, and they're going to resonate with you, because you're going to think about the other mindsets that you have besides being with family. One of those big prevailing mindsets of the holidays is end of the year. Why is that a prevailing mindset? Because they only have a few weeks left. And with only a few weeks left, what people do at the end of the year is that they naturally reflect on their progress. How did 2024 go? Did they progress? Did they grow? Did they become more like who they wanted to be? Did they achieve what they wanted to achieve this year? And they start thinking about all of the missed opportunities that happened between January all the way to October. And those things start to weigh heavily on a person. That's why you as a coach have to help them get in touch with the fact that right now they are assessing what they've accomplished, or assessing where they have fallen short. And so we have to take advantage. When I say take advantage, I don't mean manipulative. What I am talking about is that you want to partner with them during this time, because they have a desire to grow and to finish what they've started. So this is one of the opportunities that you can get clients even in November, even in December. Because, well, even if you've missed some opportunities, the year's not over. So we can begin to jump on these things right now. I know at the end of the year, a lot of times people are thinking about, like, okay, a lot of times people will be like, well, this year is a loss. Maybe I'll wait until January. No, it's really not. So we've got to have a different perspective, a different argument to an old way that a lot of times people show up. Here's another prevailing mindset of the holidays. New Year is around the corner. And with the new year around the corner, people are naturally thinking, you don't have to talk them into this and you don't have to try to bring it up. They're already thinking about it. They're already thinking about how they want their new year to go. And they're already thinking about how they want to be better. But what happens in most cases is that people don't realize that that last 4 weeks, that last 6 weeks, that last 8 weeks of the year doesn't have to be wasted time. We don't have time. We're not going to live forever. A lot of clients that we're working with, they're already, they're 40, 50, 60 years old. And we can't just casually throw a week or 2 or 3 or 2 months away and wait until the new year. You know what that means for us as coaches? We can talk about the fact that their desire for New Year is already around the corner. So let's start talking about starting now. Can we start now? What if you started in November and then January you hit the ground running? What if you started on December 1st and now you already have 4 weeks into? What if you could actually prevent someone from going through the guilt of all the food and all the bad things they're going to do to their body during December? Could you imagine that? Could you imagine getting a jump on the new year instead of allowing it just to come? Another prevailing mindset of the holidays is obviously stress and overwhelm. That happens during people are preoccupied with things. So if you want something to talk about, most people will probably resonate with the fact that a lot of things that are in operation during that time turn into a push and a stretch in a lot of different directions. A push to complete things at work, to get things finished up, to finish up Christmas shopping, to finish organizing, and being stretched in a lot of different directions. People who are pulling on them from all different directions, all kinds of expectations that are on them. And so this is a time to take advantage of the fact that people may not be verbalizing it, but that there is a cry internally for stress management, for peace. There is a cry in the hearts of people, show me how to navigate this hectic season. And these are the times that we need to rise up and we need to talk about it. But these aren't the only prevailing mindsets. There's a couple of more. Holiday guilt and regret. What is happening during, if you think about it, now again, most of you aren't thinking about these things before. Most of you have thought, most people are thinking about being with their family and winding down. As I'm showing you, most people actually don't wind down and they got a lot on their mind about their life, about purpose and everything else. And one of those things that commonly happens to people during the holidays is that they start to slow down just enough that they start to feel a little bit of pain. And that holiday guilt and regret can range from disappointment from the year. It can range to unmet expectations from others, not doing enough, not being enough, etc. All of those things are actually happening during that time. Think about how November and December feels every year. Probably many of you who are watching this right now, you've actually experienced holiday regret and guilt. And it's a very common thing. Are coaches talking about it? Probably not, but hopefully you'll be talking about it because it's one of those times that you can talk about self-awareness. You can talk about mindfulness. You can give them tools. You can pull them into some things to be able to de-stress and step away or whatever. It's an incredible time to nurture a relationship with your clients. Another big thing that happens every year. When I say holiday blues, I'm not talking about clinical depression. But what I am talking about is that the holidays always stir a lot of things in people's discontent about where they are in their life and a lot of other things. It magnifies the feelings of isolation and loneliness. And there is endless rumination that's happening during the holidays about everything that is not working in life. Have you noticed that? Have you noticed that somehow during the holidays, you start to feel this kind of like off and the sadness, and you're not really sure where it's coming from? Well, what happens in many cases during that time is that, and this is what I always tell our coaches, is that sometimes depression and sadness and feeling off really isn't about being depressed and, like, I'm so sad about whatever. What it really is it's highlighting that something is out of balance in your life. And so, especially when you have all this internal stuff going on and no one knows it, it increases the feelings of isolation. I don't know how November and December, I don't know if it's because people slow down just a little bit, but something just kind of kicks in during this time. So, one of the big things that I always tell our coaches is that sometimes when we feel something that's like the blues or we feel off, it's because people don't know what's most important. It's where they've kind of gotten out of alignment with their values. So so knowing that this is going to be occurring in November and December, it's a great time for you to latch on to, are you experiencing holiday blues? Because it's time to talk about values. It's time to talk about getting aligned with and being reminded about what is most important and helping them get in alignment before the end of the year. Most people would feel so free if they had this language, if they had this one sentence and they could know, this is why I feel like I am. It's not because my life is in shambles, but somehow this year I lost what was most important, or maybe they didn't know. And you give them due north again, and then they feel aligned, and now the blues go away. It doesn't have anything to attach to. Another big mindset during the holidays is life purpose and fulfillment. Because the end of the year, one of the things that happens is that people, well, they get out of the rat race and they start thinking about their life in terms of meaning, in terms of purpose. And they start asking the questions about, because especially in that time of the year, because what do people usually say around November and December? Let's, what's most important in life? And so a lot of times what people will do during that time is they might watch movies that start talking about love and fulfillment and hope and all of these other kinds of things. And people start trying to reorient their life about around what is meaningful, but they start asking questions about their career, about what they're doing every day, and is anything that I'm doing, does anything that I'm doing matter? Am I living into my purpose? It was my life fulfilling this year, and all of those kinds of things. So for us, it gives us a great opportunity to start talking about discovering or rediscovering purpose and meaning. Again, purpose and fulfillment, major themes in November and December. Here's the last one that I want to give you: scarcity and urgency. Because everywhere that you see, between Black Friday deals and last minute scramble at work and everything that you've got to do before the end of the year, there is signs of scarcity in time, in the countdown of the deal, and urgencies and everything else. And people are used to making faster decisions during November and December. They have to, because the product's going to fly off the shelves, right? The opportunity is going to miss them. December 25th, when that hits, that is a hard deadline for people when it comes to Christmas shopping, isn't it? You don't want to be giving people gifts December 27th, after the stores reopen and after something gets restocked. Sometimes people have to start shopping a few weeks earlier and everything else. So there is this sense that people have to beat the clock, and that scarcity, that time is not on their side, or resources. As coaches, it's the perfect opportunity to create scarce opportunities and programs that must be bought now. Might be one of those opportunities where there might be an early bird discount for something, or it might be a limited enrollment, or an enrollment that starts at a particular date. Listen, people are going out and they're spending time with family in November and December, and they're buying a lot of stuff for everybody else. But there is one person that ends up being on the shopping list at a certain point, and it's usually the person who's been doing, it's like, treat yourself. Like, you bought for everybody else. You forgot one person off your Christmas list. You know who it was? It was you. What are you doing for yourself? How are you investing in yourself? So it's not like going and buying yourself a new car or whatever because, like, I deserve this. It is when we start to buy into all of you're buying into more than just getting getting whatever you're getting from a coaching program. You are also living into your purpose. You are also living into being a more fulfilling life. It's about achieving goals. It's about serving your family better. All these other kinds of things. Coaching's not one of those kinds of things that people buy. It's a high-end service, but it's not like buying something and frivolously spending on something you're never going to use. It's about growth and it's about development, and it is a good investment. And so during this time, we're selling investment. We're not just selling material kinds of things or anything else. Let me pay the bills really quick, and then I'll come right back. Oh yeah, and nothing gets the people off the fence like scarcity and urgency will. Let me pay the bills really quick. Hey, for those of you who have been interested in our advanced certification, we have two advanced certification opportunities at Life Coach Training Institute. One of them is coming up in November, so I don't want to talk about that one yet. The closest one to us is Masters Academy. It is a faith-based program that is spirit-led, transformational coaching model that I developed over the past 20 years of coaching. And it works, and I teach you 4 pillars of coaching people, not just using an old coaching humanistic model, because that's what most people are still trying to use as Christian coaches. What actually should makes this coaching model distinct is that you learn to be led intuitively by the Holy Spirit. And as you are coaching people, you are coaching them through 4 pillars: intimacy with God, identity in Christ, the promises of God, and purpose and calling. During this particular program, which starts September 5th, here's some of the program details. We'll send you a link, and you're able to go to christianlifecoach.co. That's actually the website for it. There are 6 weekly sessions over Zoom. So we start September 5th. We end in October. There are replays available 24 hours later. We also have role-playing demos. We have Q&As at the end of each one of those sessions. We give you 60-plus pages worth of coaching tools that for each pillar. There's a coaching community, so you're going to get to know other coaches and connect with them. And you're also going to earn an advanced CPC credential. Now, if you have not gotten your basic credential, you can't enroll in this program unless you do a bundle. But if you have already earned your CLC credential, then you can enroll for $395. There is a payment plan, but it's a little bit cheaper to go for the one payment. There's also a licensing opportunity that we are going to have available after this particular cohort. We weren't able to get it together after the last time that we did it, but that you'll be able to train your own coaches. So that is a different separate fee and a little bit different training and stuff, but you do have to get this out of the way before you can do it. So again, I would enroll now because we might actually hit capacity. We were looking at the numbers the other day, and we're going to be coming very close. So I would enroll as quickly as possible because this is only about 2.5 weeks away. Another thing that for those of you who are just looking to get trained and certified, you want to build your business, our Jumpstart program is the best opportunity that I could offer you. It's $97 a month with a 3-month minimum commitment. What's included is the Life Coach certification course as well as boot camp. So you can take your choice, go through self-paced and join us live on Tuesday nights for coach training and Q&As and role playing, or you can join us for our boot camp weekend like the one that we just had. Everybody who's part of Jumpstart is automatically registered for that. Besides getting trained and certified, and again, the next boot camp will not be available until October. Besides that, you get enrolled in 6 total courses. The Jumpstart program, which is our A to Z business development roadmap. We give you all the steps from discovering your niche, knowing how to sell, how to have a dynamic first coaching session that demonstrates that you can help people. All of these different things that we give you in the regular program, but you also have access to courses like this, like Brand Camp. We give you 13 hours of training, a step-by-step on how to develop your marketing messaging, how to develop your website, how to optimize your website for search engines, how to write a sales page, how to write emails, how to write copy that sells, how to close business, all of those other things. It's all included inside of Brand Camp. We also have another course that's part of Jumpstart called the Coaching Product Launch Blueprint. And this Coaching Product Launch Blueprint is for everything from business launches to creating a group coaching program to designing an online course to developing webinars, workshops, any of those kinds of things. What we do is that we take you from brainstorming all the way to launch. There's a lot of ways to offer coaching to people. It's not just about doing one-on-ones. You'll level off your business that way. We show you ways to create products in all of these different kinds of categories so that you can serve people even while you sleep. If they're on your website, you can be making money in your sleep as people are still being served by you. So we take you from idea to launch so that you can break into financial freedom and you're not in the grind all the time and you're not hustling all the time. All of this is included inside of Jumpstart. It's $97 a month with a 3-month minimum commitment. I should also add that there is a weekly group coaching call every week where we give you feedback on anything that you're working on. So you're not on your own doing this. You're connected with other coaches who might be a few months ahead of you, as well as you're connecting with me on a weekly basis. We give you feedback on anything that you are working on, and we want to partner with you to help you move forward and to do this thing and be successful. So that link is inside the description of this video, and it would take you about 90 seconds to get enrolled. I'm going to jump back over here and say hello to a couple of other people. Simone, who's joining us from Oregon. Miles says, I want to be a part of Masters Academy. Oh, I think it sounds like that link is not inside. So, well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to throw it inside the chat right now. ChristianLifeCoach.co if you want to be a part of Masters Academy. And that's awesome. Very good. Oh, and Mariko says, yes, I signed up for Masters. Awesome. Well, we would love to see you there. Well, listen, everybody, I appreciate you guys all immensely. We're going to throw this video over into replay. So if you missed part of it, you can always click that link and watch it again, or it's just going to be streaming live again in a replay format on YouTube and on Facebook. Get enrolled today, whether this is what your next step is, or if you're looking for an advanced credential and you want to be a certified professional Christian coach. Enroll in Masters Academy. That date of that start date is September 5th, and we're going to run out of room. So make that happen. Listen, I appreciate you guys all immensely. Have a great rest of your week and take care.